All right. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. How we doing today? Talking about late payments. And then I'm going to dive into a bonus after I get through doing late payments with you. So, late payments. On your consumer report, payments make up 35% of your FICO score, your credit score. Okay? So keep that in mind. And if we can delete these late payments, unwanted late payments, then we can boost our score dramatically. Right? All right, so this is our study session for late payments. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, so what I need you to do is, as I'm going through these laws, I need you to write them down, type them in, do whatever you need to do so you can have the same information that I have. So before I dive into it, for you all that haven't been on this channel or seen me or heard of me, this is your first time experiencing me, listening to me. I'm Lifestyle Quad. I do have a Facebook group called The Secret TLC. Excuse me. I do have my YouTube channel, Lifestyle Quad. And I do have TikTok, Lifestyle Quad. Okay. All right. So you can see me on all those platforms. I'm not credit repair. I end up researching, got tired of my credit score being low, got tired of having to deal with denials, credit denials, not being able to get loans, not being able to take care of my family when I needed to, feeling bad. I still remember the days I felt real, real bad when I couldn't educate a woman without a pot to piss in, pretty much. That's my testimony, and I ended up learning about consumer laws and how they can help improve my lifestyle. So I decided might as well help others improve their lifestyle too. My mentor, Durain Delvante, I just absolutely love how he explains everything. He's pretty much my motivation to why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I do see other people that are around me that need this same help and need this same guidance, plus motivation. So I'm not credit repair. I help you, I guide you through the laws to help you to make sound decisions on getting your credit elevated, at least to the 700 club, to the 800 club. I can't say exactly that my credit score has reached 700 yet, but I'm in the process, and everything that I've learned, I feel like I've learned so much to the point where I can start my journey and others joining in on my journey. So today we're going to be talking about late payments. And just start writing the laws down as you start to read through the laws and see how Congress has helped us. And we didn't know this for all these years. None of this in history books when we was in high school learning history. It's like you don't even need an education to know how to do this. You don't even need money to make money. Learning is just having knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is money. Credit is power once you get to learn how to manipulate through all these laws. But to make a long story short, we're going to start off with late payments. Let's get rid of these old pesky late payments off our credit reports, consumer reports, rather. All right, so just a note, we don't want to say credit report, we want to say consumer report because we are consumers. We don't want to say remove because we're not removing anything. We're deleting them, getting rid of this stuff. We're deleting it, okay? Also, we don't want to say credit bureau. They're not. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are not credit bureaus. They're just merely consumer reporting agencies, which you'll probably hear me say CRA, okay? So to start off, let me start off with what a consumer report is. So if you type in 15 USC 1681A, what is a consumer report? Consumer report means any written, oral, or other communication of any information by a consumer reporting agency bearing on a consumer's credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character. That's how I felt when I couldn't get approved for loans, and I'm trying to take care of my family. Mind you, I've got 4 kids. I've got a grandchild. It's hard when you get denied and you're trying your best to make sure that your children are well taken care of and your generations to come. Okay, back to it. General reputation, personal characteristics, or mode of living which is used or expected to be used or collected in whole or in part for the purpose of serving as a factor in establishing the consumer's eligibility. So a consumer report is nothing but it's like a file of you. It's like a profile of you, okay, of your creditworthiness. So that was the definition of a consumer report. All right. What is a late payment? Is there such thing as a late payment? So if you go to 15 U.S.C. 1681A, if you go to D as in dog, the number 2, capital A and lowercase I, if you go to exclusions, it states that report, now we're still talking about the consumer report, but we're in the exclusion section of this consumer report definition. It says that excluding from your consumer report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences between the consumer, you, and the person, the corporation or the business or the creditor making the report, or the CRAs, whichever one, whoever you're dealing with when you're trying to get rid of this late payment. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so now your report should not include transactions or experiences. So I'm gonna say ABC Finance Company. That's the loan company that I applied to get this loan. All right, mind you, when I make a payment, that's a transaction. When they call me and tell me that I have to make a payment by a certain date, that is what I call an experience. That means I'm experiencing this with you. Now, if I don't make that payment by the date that they call and told me that I need to make it, and they report that they showing that my balance goes up, that's a transaction. They're not supposed to report that on your report. I'm going to keep going just so you can get the understanding of what I'm saying. So we're still trying to figure out what is a late payment. So if a late payment is a transaction, it is not supposed to be reported on your consumer report. All right. So now when I went in there to get that loan, that person or that business, whoever their representative is, did not ask me if I wanted this information reported. Go to the third section of this exclusion. It says communication of other information among persons related by common ownership or affiliated by corporate control, if it is clearly or conspicuously disclosed. Now, when I sat down and applied for that loan, there are other laws that explain to you when you apply for loans. There are certain disclosures that they must make clearly and conspicuously to the consumer or disclose to the consumer, which when I sat down and talked or on the phone talking to this representative for ABC Finance Company, she never stated that she never asked me if I wanted this information disclosed. So pretty much when she reports this as a late payment on my consumer report, first of all, I didn't give her permission because she didn't ask me. She didn't make it clearly and conspicuous to me to even have that opportunity, given the opportunity to make that judgment, or giving me the opportunity or letting me know that I had the option to not allow them to report this type of information or transaction on my consumer report. And it's pretty much like when they do these things and they don't ask you, when they check your credit score, when you're applying for a loan, when they call and tell you that you got late payment, or they don't let you know at all, and then they just put it on your consumer report, they're accessing your personal identifiable information without your written or oral consent. That's pretty much like identity theft. It is, because I didn't give you permission to do that. So now you reported this late payment on my consumer report. You just defamed my character. You just made me look bad to every lender that I try to apply for, whatever job that I try to apply for, whatever house I try to apply for. If I'm trying to go to school to better my education and student loans, you just made me look bad to these people, to these persons. I'm going to say persons because a person is a corporation. Okay, it's a business. Okay, by you reporting that late payment, so-called late payment, you made me look bad and feel bad. All right. So to sum this slide up, they didn't ask me. They didn't give me the option, and they didn't even ask me if I wanted to report it. All right, so keep it moving. Let's go to 15 U.S.C. 1666B. Timing of payments. So time to make payments. There is no such thing as a late payment reported to your consumer report. Get that in your head, okay? So there's no such thing as a late payment. This law is letting you know that a creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer credit plan as late for any purpose. Y'all, I did not say this. Congress is telling you this in law. I'm citing the laws. Take it up to yourself. Do your own research. Do your own due diligence. This law just told you that a creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer credit plan as late for any purpose. So they just violated you. Totally violated you. And to make matters when you're communicating with these persons or these creditors, do not say it in your, they don't care if you had a death in the family. They don't care if you just got out of the hospital. They do not care. So you can't talk to them with your language, your everyday language. You got to talk to them with their language, and their language are the laws. So when you send out your notices, copy and paste this law, and then let them know in a brief sentence that they have violated you, because first of all, you didn't give them permission to report that. Second of all, you're not supposed to report any payment on an open-ended consumer credit plan as late for any purpose. So once they see that law, that there should be enough for them to back off or remedy the situation, whatever it is that you're in. And when I normally send out my notices, I normally send out, I give them 10 days to respond to my letter. Now, when you're trying to attack the CRAs, you have to give them 30 days, okay? You have to give the CRAs 30 days. So my advice to you is, the CRAs are in the business of reporting data, collecting data. That's how they make their money. And anybody affiliated with them and use them, they're making money from them, okay? So they're only reporting what these creditors are furnishing them. Creditors are furnishing. So why would you attack the CRA, these billion-dollar companies that has the power to fight you, okay, to stall, to delay the situation? You can go straight to the creditor, the person that's furnishing this information. Write a letter to the CFOs and write it to the company. They should have dispute addresses. If they don't, that's also a violation, because they're supposed to have clearly and conspicuously an address, a phone number that you can contact them and make your disputes. Okay? So don't attack the CRAs. Go straight to the creditor, the furnisher themselves, and watch how much remedy you get. Watch how fast they respond back to you when you copy and paste their own language inside of the letter. True, the letter might start looking like a lot of 15 USC 1666, but Congress put those laws there for a reason. We were not taught that these people, they've been violating us for decades, and we didn't know anything about this. That's why Quad stepped up. Lifestyle Quad stepped up so she can help as many people. I can't help everybody, okay? I can't help everybody. But I would try my hardest to help as many people as I can with this information, just to show it to you. And I believe that the best way to fix your credit is not through a credit reporting agency or a credit repair company or a credit repair agency, correction. If you sit down and you learn these laws and read these laws, they're going to look like Greek. Because when I first started, I'm like, this is just like reading the Bible. Just like reading the Bible. But when I started applying my process and studying the laws every chance I got, everything started to come together. It takes time. This is not a quick fix. Please get that out your head. This is not a quick fix. Trust me. I've been on this journey ever since April of this year, 2022. I've gotten remedy. I've only got 2 remedies. Got one for my mom. I sent off one letter for her, and her stuff came back quick. That one law, 1692G, 15 USC 1692G, validation of debts. That one law got that collection taken off for consumer report. I've even gotten a judgment dismissed for me by using these laws. Also with the help of a consumer lawyer. I really didn't need him because I only needed him just I'm not going to say clout, but I need him for his expertise, his name. He's a consumer lawyer. That's what I needed him for. Because when I took these laws and every information that I had to that consumer lawyer, oh, let me write this down. Let me write this law. I'm going to check into this law. Okay, here's another law. And when he proceeded to say that, I asked myself, am I with the right consumer lawyer? Did I pick the right person? Because he's using what I'm giving him. And he's been in this business for over, 10 years. You think he know the laws. They don't even always know the laws. So be mindful who you pick as your consumer lawyer too. Check their background, how many years they've been in, how many cases they won, and their demeanor and their attitude. If it don't feel right from the beginning, leave it alone. Find you somebody else. I would rather for you to be with somebody that's comfortable, because I was not comfortable. I'm not going to say any names, but I was not comfortable with this consumer lawyer. Okay. Back to late payments. I just got all off topic. I'm sorry. All right. So the bonus is, so I just showed you how to get rid of late payments. Now, we all know we can have a account on our consumer report with late payments, right? Those are the laws I just showed you that you're going to include in your letter. The letters do not have to be a specific format. You just copy and paste the laws and tell them what you want these people to know, and tell them your remedy, and give them the number of days that you want them to respond back to you. If they don't, I got another video to let you know how to get your remedies, how you arbitrate to litigate. Okay, I will show you how to do that. We all know sometimes on an account on our consumer report, late payments end up being charge-offs. So the bonus for you all today are how to remove your charge-offs from your consumer report. Okay, so charge-off. Me, I'm not a tax preparer. I'm not a financial advisor. So if there's anything that I tell you in this video is very confusing, please consult with a financial advisor to take this to get a better understanding on how you need to approach this situation. So when I have a late payment, creditors have up to 180 days to eventually charge off that account, right? So I do have a cancellation of debt that's taking you to form. This link is actually taking you to form 2020, the instructions for your 1099A, 1099C, but you're only going to be paying attention to 1099C for cancellation of debt, okay? Just understanding what does that mean. So whenever a creditor has charge off on your account, that means that they're closing the account out, they're charging it off on that date, and you shouldn't see anything else pop up on your consumer report after that. If anything else pops up on your consumer report after the status has changed to charge off, they have violated you, and you can get remedy for each thing that they reported, anything after that charge off. Okay, because what they did was creditors do charge off. They file charge offs because they don't feel like they're going to get that payment. So they'll go to the IRS and they'll fill out this 1099C cancellation of debt form, and it'll be a tax write-off for them. But it's a liability for you, and I'm going to get into that on this next slide. But this cancellation debt is not to benefit you. It's a liability to you, but it's a tax benefit to them. That's why they do 1099Cs. Okay? All right, so you see in the picture to the left, I said 2020 in my last slide, but it doesn't make a difference which one, as long as you get instructions for forms 1099A, 1099C. So what I have highlighted here in this picture is, if in the same calendar year you cancel a debt, and when they say you, they're talking about the creditor. This form is for the creditor, okay? $600 or more. So the debt, in order for them to have a charge off on your account, the amount has to be $600 or more. If it's with a loan, it's normally with the principal amount that you actually owe them, not the interest, okay? Because they can't do the interest. That's when they fall into all that 1099 INT stuff. But when it's dealing with a debtor, you, the consumer, it has to be $600 or more in connection with a foreclosure or abandonment of a secured property. It is not necessary to file both of the forms, cancellation debt for the same debtor. So they're going to file for like a credit card or open-ended credit plan. The creditor is pretty much going to use a 1099C. All right. Now, with this 1099C, the creditor, once they file it, if they send it to you, the creditor's phone number must be provided in the creditor's information box. This is mandatory. And do not file Form 1099C. They cannot file a 1099C with a fraudulent debt that's dealing with identity theft. Let me give you an example. If you reported, okay, I'm going to say in February, you reported identity theft for this account. But the actual creditor charged the account off in January. That charge off withstands that identity theft file that you just filed, report that you just filed. But if you did an identity theft report in January and they filed a cancellation, a 1099-C cancellation of debt form in February, then they just violated you. They can't, therefore it cannot be a charge off. If you filed and they know that you filed this as a fraudulent debt dealing with identity theft, then they cannot report this as a charge off. Okay, that goes into tax fraud for them. All right, so now with the 1099-C, the thing about the 1099-C is the form must be filed regardless of if you are required to file it on your tax return as income. Hear that word? Income. We all know that income is not reported on a consumer report. So you're asking yourself, why are they charging this debt off and reporting it to my consumer report? If it's a charge off, then that means you can't report anything else after that. Anytime they keep reporting the charge off, is considered a late payment. Okay, so they're keeping that account open. That's also extending that date the date of last activity. So that's also violating you when they keep reporting. Okay, so they are not supposed to be reporting any charge-offs on your account or anything after they show that the status is a charge-off. They're not supposed to be reported on your consumer report because income is not reported on your consumer report. Here's an example of Equifax with late payments leading up to a charge-off. Now, I can go ahead and tell you right now, I'm not credit repair, but I know I'm not a dummy. I know how to add. I know increments of 30 when I see it. So in May to June, I was like 30 days late in May, 60 days late in June. So you would think if they're going by 30-day increments, don't the number that comes behind 60 would be 90? Look, another 60, which is wrong. That's an inaccuracy from the gate. But that's not what we're here for right now. We're here for late payments leading up to a charge-off. So you see how I have those late payments, 30, 60, 60, 30, 60, 90, 120. And then right after that 120, it was a charge-off. So this is my concern. December of 2021, if it was a charge-off, why are they still reporting charge-offs on my consumer report? Why? They're not supposed to do that. They violated me 4 times. Really, I see so many violations on this one thing. But this is what wouldn't you rather come in, instead of you coming in trying to just pick certain people to take out, you can just come in with your guns blazing. That charge off and reporting those charge offs after the fact is all I need to get this account deleted from my consumer report. I'm not finna worry them about 30, 60, 60. I can't be 60 days late twice in a 30 day span. Why? Let me get the big fish so I can get rid of the big fish, you get rid of the little fish. Okay? Give me the head honcho. I want this charge out. Okay? All right, so they violated me 4 times after they reported the charge off. Okay? All right, so another thing about the charge off is with the creditor, until further guidance is issued, no penalty will apply for failure to file Form 1099-C or provide statements to the debtors. So this is like a double-edged sword. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. They are required to file Form 1099-C, but there's no penalty if they don't send it to you. There's no penalty if they don't apply for it. It's kind of confusing to me. All right. So they must file the form, but now there is no penalty if they fail to file the Form 1099-C or provide the statement to the debtors. So if you go to your consumer report and you see a charge off and you never received the charge off form, you still have to go and file that amount. It's got to be $600 or more. You still got to go file that amount as income on your tax return. Okay. So if they don't see you in the form, you still got to go file it so you can report it as income. Okay. And once you report it as income, after you do that, then go seek your remedy. You can seek your remedy then too, because they have violated you. All right, so now with that being said, I showed you how to get rid of late payments, and I showed you how to get rid of late payments that lead up to a charge-off. Now, anytime a company reports or furnishes any information to your consumer report, there are compliance procedures that they have to abide by. So I need you to go to 15 USC 1681E as an elephant. 15 USC 1681E. Income does not get reported on your consumer report. Your consumer report must be accurate. So if income is not supposed to be reported on my consumer report, then why are they reporting this inaccuracy? The law states that, okay, here's the law. Accuracy of report. Whenever a consumer reporting agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum. That's the word I was trying to get out just a minute ago. My report has to be accurate. If you go to the hospital and you have a baby, and the doctor made a mistake with handling your child, and your child had an accident to where the baby got hurt, that's not accurate. You won't fool that. That is pretty much like he done made a mistake. Now he has to pay for it because he brought harm to that child and also the mother at the same time. So when they report this charge off on your consumer report, they're harming you. That's harming you. Okay, that's violating you. It has to be maximum. I want it done right. The last thing I want to do is go to a hospital and have a baby and have to go through any type of issues. Okay, so they have to report maximum. That's just with my females. I'm sorry, my males. Okay, maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. So if you got ABC Finance Company and they're reporting this charge off on your consumer report, don't attack the CRAs. Go to the one that filed that 1099-C and is furnishing this information to get your remedy there. Okay. All right, so let's talk about remedies under this section of the laws. All right, so if you go to 15 USC 1681N, willful noncompliance. So we already know that when they file this 1099-C and they put it on furnish it to your consumer report, they have violated you. So here are 3 damages. There are 3 remedies. And actions you can take to get your remedy. One is any actual damages sustained to you as a result of the failure or damage of not less than $100 to $1,000. So you remember that consumer report where that example that I just showed you right here, where after they filed the charge off, they sat there and reported a charge off January, February, March, and April. That's 4 times that they have violated me. Okay, that's $1,000 per violation. When you seek your remedy, that's the bag. That's $4,000 right there. $4,000. Okay. Let me go back. Now I must say that all states are different. I'm in the state of Mississippi. Mississippi don't stack violations. You may find from my consumer lawyer that I spoke with, I consulted with, he stated that you may get that $100 overall, depending on how much they violated and how they violated you. You may get $500. You may even get the $1,000, not $4,000, the $1,000, because Mississippi do not stack violations. Okay. All right. The second remedy is such amount of punitive damages. I was applying for a house. I couldn't get the house. I got sick. I got anxiety behind it. I was frustrated. I was stressed out. I was arguing with my kids every time because I couldn't get this loan to pay my bills, my other bills that I really needed. Couldn't keep my lights on. Punitive damages. Okay. And the third one on the 1681N, in the case of any successful action, they can pay for your attorney's fees and your court fees. So for you all that's afraid to go get a consumer lawyer, find you a consumer lawyer, a good consumer lawyer that does not have a consultation fee if you can't afford it at the time. Because trust me, I totally understand. Money is funny. That's the whole reason why we're here today, is to learn these laws so we can use it to benefit ourselves later on down the road. We may not have money to do everything, but there are ways, of more than one way to skin a cat. Okay. Trust me, I'm a living testimony of it. All right, so they pay your lawyer's fee, your attorney's fees, and your court fees. All right. Now, you contact them, you let them know they violated you, and they still haven't removed it within the 10 days, 15 days that you asked them. All right. This is where you come with civil liability, 1681-0. They are knowingly and willfully doing this on purpose, so they're civilly liable to you. There are two things that you can get done, and this with a and, not an or. They say and. You can get both of these, like in in. These are ands, okay? These are ands. Each one of these can be done. Any actual damages sustained by the consumer as a result. Okay, ABC Finance Company reported a charge off on my account 4 months after it changed the status to charge off. I applied for a house that January 2022. This is an example. I applied for a house. I couldn't get the house because the charge off was being reported on my consumer report. House was about $200,000. Those are what we call actual damages. That is the bag. You can turn around and buy you a house from them violating you. And don't send invoices. I'm going to tell y'all now, invoices don't work. I've tried that numerous times, and invoices does not work. There's nothing sustainable about an invoice for these people to pay you. Okay? So don't do invoices. After you contact them the first time, you give them notice, tell them they violating you. They don't respond to you, or they send something back saying is what validated or whatever, or the account is correct, or they close your account. Write them again. Restate the letter, put those same laws back in, and now include 1681N and include 1681O. Let them know that if they don't cure this situation, that you would take legal action. If they still don't do it, once you send that second letter out, that demand letter, that's that opportunity to cure, now you let them know that you're seeking, this is their last opportunity, and you're seeking, that's where you come in with the affidavit. On that third go round with that affidavit. In order for them to do anything after that, they have to rebut or rebuttal. That's your rebuttal. They have to rebut that affidavit. Okay. And second part to this one is same thing. They can pay your attorney's fees and your court costs. All right. So now I've just went through how to remove late payments from your consumer report. I've shown you how to take a late payment leading up to a charge off and take it off your consumer, delete it from your consumer report. I hope everything in this video has helped you all in any type of way. You can email me anytime. I do not do DMs. So if anybody is DMing you, it's not me. It's spamming. I always communicate through my email, hello@lifestyle247365.com. You can also start your journey too with my online course, Bankrupt to Boss. Lifestyle247365.com. Okay. I do have a Facebook group. That's why I go in, and that's my community. I communicate with the people in the group when they have questions. I put up videos, but that group does require a membership fee because I totally believe in everybody investing in themselves. If you want that knowledge, you will pay for anything to extend your education. Education is power. Knowledge is power. And when you learn this, credit is power. So get ready to repair, rebuild, and restore your credit. This is Lifestyle Quad. Thank you all for watching.